We are at the Ryman Auditorium. The first time I came down here, I think I was 15. You know, I remember I was backstage and I told little Jimmy Dickens, like, I'm gonna play this place someday. I had no idea what I was talking about. Oh, Minnie Pearl. Look at that beautiful yellow dress. I wore a yellow dress on my first Opry performance. That's so cool. I was driving home one night after picking up my first waitressing shift again, year 10 of being in town, and I see the billboard and it says tonight at the Opry, and it was an artist who, you know, had been a really good friend of mine, and I just had this thought of, you know, am I ever gonna get to do that? Is that ever gonna happen? That dream that I'd had, was I ever gonna get to see it come true? And I think it was like a year later that I got that call from my manager saying, you're playing the Opry. And it was the most creatively liberating year ever, just making music for fun. 1, 2, 3, 4. It ain't the bartender, it ain't the bottle, it ain't the headache I'll have tomorrow. It's a high-low life, go and shake it on up, filling my cup. The starting place for my record, The Dream, was 10 years down. That was definitely gonna be like a time stamp as far as the record goes conceptually. I think a month before we went into the studio to finish the record, I wrote Janice at the Hotel Bar and Living the Dream with Laurie McKenna in Boston. And when we wrote those songs, that was the moment I was like, I know what this record's about. It's about my Nashville story. It's about my personal journey to really define what the dream meant to me. And my boyfriend at the time, Jake, he's now my fiance. I did get the ring. The story was, do you want a ring or a record? And I chose record at that time. Now I got both. But we finished the record just being kind of hunkered down in a studio in Germantown. It was just us and our engineer, Logan Matheny. We'd kind of tuned out Music Row. We'd tuned out Nashville. We weren't thinking about radio. We weren't thinking about anything other than making this record the best that we could, something that if it was the last project we ever got to make, something that we would be proud of, we could move home to Iowa with, be happy, hang up the hat, feel good about our time here. So we post 10 Year Town on social media. You know, these artists, Brothers Osborne, Maren Morris, Carly Pierce, they start posting about this song, and a lot of just singer-songwriters, and I think it really resonated with the artist community in town. And I'm so glad I put it out because it just changed everything for me. You know, I quit waiting tables. I was able to be a musician full-time, go on the road. I was going on tour with Maren Morris and Brent Cobb and Jordan Davis, and I got to play the Grand Ole Opry. I got to make my debut, and I know how fickle this business can be, and I just feel like I've made it. You know, I got to play the Grand Ole Opry, and if it all went away tomorrow and I went back home to Iowa, I would be telling everybody I met, you know, I got to play the Grand Ole Opry, and, you know, I got to do some really cool things, and I just really try not to take the moments for granted, because I think those 12 years, if anything, showed me just how hard it can be, and I just feel really glad to get to be here. Yeah, that stuff, it's feeling